In this video lecture, we will be discussing on topic Actinomycetes. Actinomycetes, in that we will see the definition, natural habitat, general characteristic, nutrition, reproduction, classification, beneficial and harmful effect of Actinomycetes. The word Actinomycetes is made up of two words, actino and mycetes. Actino, which means ray, and mycetes, which means that fungi. Actinomycetes, it is composed of two words, that is actino, which means ray, and mycetes, which means fungi. So it is also known as ray fungus. It is also known as ray fungus. And the term Actinomycetes was given by Harz, Harz, in year 1878. So first of all, we will start with the definition. Actinomycetes are the prokaryotics. They are the aerobic gram-positive bacteria. They are having the long filamentous branch structure which reproduce either by the fission or by the spore formation. So, in the definition, they are the prokaryotics. They are the aerobic, which means that they require the presence of oxygen, and they are the gram-positive bacteria. They are having the long filamentous branch structure. Like fungi, they have a filamentous structure like this way. They have a long filamentous narrow branch structure which reproduce either by the fission or by the spore formation. If we talk about the habitat, in the habitat, actinomycetes are primarily found in the soil. They are mostly found in the soil, and they are also present in the marine water, lake water, or we can say that the lake bottom. Most species are the free-living saprophytes. They are free-living, and saprophytes, which means that they depend on the dead and decay material. So, they are primarily found in the soil, and they are the most of the species of actinomycetes, they are the free-living. And actinomycetes are also present in the marine water, lake water, and lake bottom. If we talk about the general characteristic, actinomycetes, they are the prokaryotic, they are the aerobic, they are the gram-positive, and they are the filamentous bacteria. So, and the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. The cell wall of the actinomycetes, it is made up of peptidoglycan. Most species are responsible to produce spores. Most of the species, they produce the spores. And the filament are much narrow than the fungal hyphae. As I have said that they are having the filamentous bacteria, but the filaments they carry whatever the filament, or we can say that thread like structure they carry, they are much narrower, they are much narrow than the fungal hyphae. All actinomycetes have high G+C content. The actinomycetes compared to the bacteria, they all have the high G+C content. Actinomycetes produce the volatile substance called the geosmin. Geosmin is a musty or earthy smell. Musty or earthy smell. Okay, these are the general characteristic of actinomycetes. In that we have seen they are the prokaryotic, they are the aerobic, gram-positive, they are the filamentous bacteria. The cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, and they are responsible to produce many species. They are responsible to produce the spores. And whatever the fungal hyphae, that is the fungal hyphae that we see in the fungi, but in that filamentous are the much narrow than the fungal hyphae. And all the actinomycetes have the high G+C content, and actinomycetes, they will produce the volatile substance called the geosmin. The name of the volatile substance, that is the geosmin, which means that the earthy smell. During the first rain, whatever the smell, earthy smell comes from, that is from the geosmin. And if we cultivate the actinomycetes, if we grow the actinomycete, okay, the colonies that produced of actinomycetes into the medium, it is very difficult to pick up with the needle or the nichrome wire. If we talk about the nutrition, actinomycetes is the heterotrophic derived nutrient from the surrounding. As a decomposer, they are the heterotrophic. As a decomposer, they derive the nutrient from the dead and decomposing animal matters. So they depend upon the dead and decay matter. So they are the heterotrophic derived nutrient from the surrounding. If we talk about the classification, according to the Burgess Manuals of Systematic Bacteriology, actinomycetes are classified in the volume 4. Volume 4, that name is Actinomycetes. In that they have mentioned about the gram-positive filamentous bacteria, that is the Actinomycetes. In the Burgess Manuals of Systematic Bacteriology, in the volume 4, in that the classification of Actinomycetes is there. If we talk about the reproduction, Actinomycetes reproduce by spores, either by fission or fragmentation. Beneficial effect, they produce the extracellular enzyme. Whatever the enzyme they produce, that is a extracellular. They can degrade pectin, lignin, chitin, waxes, etc. They has an ability to degrade those all pectin, lignin, chitin, waxes, etc. Some species are responsible to produce antibiotics. Some species of actinomycetes, they has an ability, they can produce the actinomycetes. For example, Streptomyces gracious. Okay, Streptomyces gracious is an actinomycetes that produce antibiotic such as streptomycin. Okay, as we have already heard in the fungi such as Penicillium notatum, or we can say that the Penicillium species that produce the antibiotic penicillin. Like this way, Streptomyces gracious is an actinomycetes that produce the antibiotic name, that is streptomycin. And another example I can also give, that is Streptomyces fredae that produced antibiotic name, that is a neomycin. Neomycin, Neomycin, neomycin. So these are the examples: Streptomyces gracious that produced antibiotic streptomycin, Streptomyces fredae that produced neomycin antibiotic. So these are the beneficial effect. Okay, here is the harmful effect of actinomycetes. Actinomycetes some causes the spoilage like cereals, grains, seed, wood, paper, etc. They can cause spoilage such as in the cereals, grain, seed, wood, paper, wool, etc. Okay. Some species are the pathogenic. Some species are the pathogenic, which means that they can cause disease in the plants, animals, and in the human. They can cause disease in the plants, animals, or in the human also. For example, nocardia, asteroids, nocardia. Okay, this can cause the lung infection. Another example, that is a Streptomyces scabies. They can cause scab disease in potato. In the plant, it can cause scab disease in potato. Like this way, dermatophilus. Dermatophilus. It is one species that can cause skin infection. So they can cause spoilage also. They can also work as in pathogens that can cause disease in the plants, animal and the human also. Here is the example nocardia that can cause disease or disease in the lung infection. They can cause the lung infection. Then another example, that is the Streptomyces gabies, which can cause scab disease in the potato plants, mostly in the potato. Dermatophilus species that can cause skin infection. This is what all about the actinomycetes. In that we have seen the word actinomycetes, which means ray fungus. Then we have seen the definition. In the definition we see that they are the prokaryotic, aerobic, gram-positive. They are having the filamentous branch structures and they reproduce either by the fission or by the spore formation. Then we have seen the habitat. In the habitat they are mostly found in the soil and they are the free living saprophytes. Then we have seen the general characteristic. In that we have seen the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. They have high G plus C content. They produce some volatile compound that is named as geosmin, which means earthy smell. And in the nutrition we have seen that they are the heterotrophic. They derive the nutrient from the dead and decay material. Then from the classification, in that we have seen that in the Burgess Manuals of Systematic Bacteriology in the volume 4 that have been mentioned about the actinomycetes. And then we have seen the reproduction. In that mostly they reproduce by the spore formation or by the fission. Then we have seen the beneficial effect and the harmful effect of actinomycetes.